It's what every PWBA bowler dreams of, winning the U.S. Women's Open. Tonight, we will crown a first-time champion of this prestigious event. Shannon O'Keefe's run of dominance started last year, completing the road to Richmond with a major title, winning the Tour Championship. This year, she took home the Queens in Reno, Nevada. Now, O'Keefe is trying to capture her third straight major at the toughest test in women's bowling. Can she complete the major hat trick tonight and make history with the U.S. Open victory? We find out next on CBS Sports Network. Orlando, Florida, the theme park capital of the world, is known as the City Beautiful, and tonight it's home to the second major of the 2018 PWBA season, the U.S. Women's Open. 5 of the world's best bowlers compete for a part of women's bowling history and big prize money. This is Dave Ryan alongside 3-time U.S. Open champ Kelly Hewitt. Hall of Famer Carolyn Doran-Ballard joins us lane level as well. Kelly, let's look at our 5 finalists.
Stephanie Johnson, the #1 qualifier. However, Erin McCarthy, Danielle McEwen, and Shannon O'Keefe all coming victorious this season with 1 title under the belt. And Liz Colkin looking for her second live telecast for her first major championships since the 2015 Queens, but the major one here is Stephanie Johnson. She graduated from college here. She worked here 6 years. Her free time was spent in this building. This is her home away from home, and she's only 1 game away from winning that prestigious Open title.
UCF alum, the campus literally 2 miles from here. She made the Queen's show in Reno looking for her first career major here tonight. So much emotion, certainly with Stephanie Johnson. Now, Shannon O'Keefe has had a tremendous season, the runaway leader in points for Player of the Year. What has made her so dominant in 2018?
Yeah, she's 20,000 points ahead of Danielle McEwen. Last year, she came off winning the Road to Richmond Tour Championship Finals. Someone told her that she could win Player of the Year, and she took that confidence and ran away with it, and it's showing in the season, making almost every cut, making major telecast shows, and she's now looking for that 3rd major in a row, her first ever U.S. Open title.
Leader by a round, Stephanie Johnson, so dominant early in this event and was able, with great bowling all through late last night, to take the #1 seed. It's the first time she's done that at a major. She's been the #1 seed at a standard event, but first time in a major tournament. 1 match away from her first career major.
No stranger to telecasting her performance. She's looking to find her first title this season, but yes, that U.S. Open title, the coveted green jacket that everyone wants to wear and have in their closet.
Liz Colkin will take on Shannon O'Keefe in our first match. Players going through their final warm-ups now. O'Keefe, the 4 seed, 39 years old, from O'Fallon, Illinois, just outside St. Louis. Future for the sport, oil pattern. Kelly, what are our bowlers competing on here tonight?
Well, we bowled, the women this week bowled on 41 feet, just on the edge of that median pattern, which allows for multiple angles, but very, very high volume. It was 43 feet last feet, a little bit less volume, but the women right here, where it tears off at the top here, right around the 8 board, is where you're going to see the girls or the women try to play. The volume allows them to play further to right, but the hook players are going to try to move inside of them to the left side, create a little bit more angle down lane, and catch up with them as fast as they can.
Carolyn is joined by Shannon O'Keefe.
Good luck. No. Shannon, you have been on fire since the inception of the new PWBA Tour. You have the chance for your 3rd major championship. Tell us, what are going to be 2 keys to get you to victory today?
I need to stay in the moment and just focus on controlling what I can control.
Awesome. Good luck to you. Back to you, Dave.
2 straight majors. Carolyn, how about that? Chance for a 3rd, but standing away first is the 5 seed Liz Colkin from Schenectady, New York, right outside Albany, and a former collegiate star at Nebraska. O'Keefe Colkin, match #1 here tonight from Orlando.
Shannon is the higher seed, and she chose Liz to start off the match. Therefore, she will be closing the match in the 10th frame.
Come on, kid.
First for Liz. Hits the 1-3 pocket perfectly, and all 10 back for Liz Colkin.
It's been a long time since she's been on TV, Dave, but she looks very relaxed, very calm, and she knows what her mission is.
Relaxed, calm, and productive. That's been the story for Shannon O'Keefe in 2018. Remarkable success. Ringing 10 pin, like the shot.
Fine execution by Shannon. Right now, the first delivery on each lane. Both women seem to be playing the same part of the lane. How they transition, who moves the quickest. Let's see how it all plans out.
The 5th time in her career making the U.S. Open TV show. First since 2015. And she has never won a title. U.S. Open in her career until possibly tonight.
Yep. I believe her husband Brian said she's finished second twice.
No, it reset the pin.
Slight delay here. Any player who rolls a 300 game during the telecast will receive a $10,000 bonus courtesy of GoBowling.com. Visit GoBowling.com to find local bowling centers, get tips from the pros, and for all the latest news and information about your favorite sport, bowling. Only one 300 game in this entire event so far.
Yeah, and it occurred in the first round on the fresh pattern. Missy Parkin, solo bowler to bowl 300.
10 pin, knocked down for Shannon.
Shannon O'Keefe's stats: 56 games the women bowled this week. 2-18, 13, and 11 in match play. Match play consists of 30 bonus pins available to the women to win and climb that ladder to the top 5 finalists. That's a really good break for Shannon. You heard her say it, hook a lot. Accelerated just a bit at the bottom of the swing, flayed to the right outside, and never had a chance to recover. Watch as she delivers the ball here. Way, way right down the lane. Outside board 4 or 5, ball deflects. 2, 8, and 10. Standing, leaves the solo 2 pin.
Has her mark, single pin spare conversion, no problem. As she told us last night, her goal is to win every major on the PWBA tour. Looking for 3 in a row. Road to Richmond complete, 1 in Reno. Now here tonight in Orlando. Starts to run against Liz Culkin, who 3 times won a national championship at Nebraska. Lots of TV time, as you talked about, as a collegiate.
Yeah, she won her rookie year out on tour in Kansas. And kind of took it for granted. But comes out quick here with the double.
Great start for the New Yorker.
Liz Culkin, so again, from Nebraska. 4-step approach, locks the elbow slightly. 2nd step past the knee. Left arm goes out to the side. Head is nice and still, but she has a lot of power here in her legs. And when the arm swing just at the height of her head, she gets a little bit tall at the foul line. Would love to see her work on getting a little bit more knee bend, but she creates so much power because she's a very, very strong individual. A lot of power in that hand and that release.
Good shot.
She likes it. 4-7 stands for Liz Culkin.
Yep, good shot it was. Just maybe a pinch slower from her other 2 deliveries. But as we look right here, sliding somewhere around 28, just about 7 at the break point. Really, really high on the pins up there. 4-7, 10-pin falls. Makeable spare. We're bowling on a pair in the center that the women have not bowled on all week long. We competed on lanes 19 until I believe 41 and 2. So our TV pairs 15 and 16 might be a little tricky as the night goes on.
It's all about adjustment as the lanes transition. But on the fresh, O'Keefe and Culkin head-to-head. 5th TV show, tops on the tour this year for Shannon. She is dominant and has a massive lead in points. Trying to unseat Liz Johnson, who's won 3 Player of the Year awards in a row.
Ooh, ringing 10-pin.
That looks familiar.
Yeah. The ball's path down the lane is really controlled. It's just it's slow. Off her hand, it's nice and quick, but it's just got a beautiful clear path to the pocket as it hits the 1-3. 6 pin goes horizontal, though, wraps itself around the 10. Just a single pin leave. Certain pairs played very well. Other pairs were tricky. Scores range from 260 to 160 all week long.
10 pin there. That's a big range.
It is. It is. And it's a U.S. Open pattern. It should play challenging at times, especially as we bowled on fresh, used, and double burn.
Last 4 major championships. 2017 U.S. Women's Open, 7th place. Won, of course, by Liz Johnson. Entering 2018, Liz had won 4 straight. That run ends here tonight in Orlando. Can Shannon get the hat trick? It won't be easy. Late hit on the 7 pin. Down it goes. Her first strike.
Yeah. Good execution again. It's interesting to watch her ball reaction. I'm going to pay close attention to it. She's got so much power with her running and her strong athleticism. But you can see how the ball is just slowly kind of migrating itself to the pocket. We call that slow on tour because it hasn't picked up enough. But she's got a clear path to the pocket. She's lined up, and again, her arm swing is grooved into what she needs to do.
Tap on number 10, and down it goes. Liz has won PWBA Tour title, as Kelly talked about, 2015 Topeka Open. Right out of college as a rookie out of Nebraska. And you mentioned earlier, she touched on it last night. She thought this was going to be easy winning on the Pro Tour. Has not proven to be the case. Yeah,
you could see right at the arrows, the ball went around 7-8 at the arrows. Liz has got a little bit more hand action at the bottom of her swing, a little bit slower speed than Shannon does right now. So she's able to have more recovery in the back end portion of the lane. 41 feet, look at the first indicator where it ends, right before the first one where you should really see the ball start to make its motion towards the 1-3 pocket.
Wow. Oh, 10 back for Liz Colkin. A great start for the 24-year-old from Schenectady.
Again, there's that 4-step approach. Shoulder drops in. Hand right here. She's at 8 at the arrows, right around there. As the ball extends down, it's not going to go too far away from that. Right around 5, 6. Here's where the ball should be starting picking up, right around this area. And as it grooves its way towards the 1-3 pocket, goes right to split the 8-9.
Back to Shannon. It does carry. Blitzes through the rack. Those pins have no chance. And she's finding a groove.
Yep, flat 10 ring down that lane. I think she might have just made a 1-1 move to the right. Let the ball pick up a little bit sooner. 10 straight back, Dave.
Dave Kelly and CDB with you from here at Boardwalk Bowl in Orlando. First match. Step ladder finals. Winner takes home the U.S. Women's Open. Turkey, yes! She is feeling it.
You know, Dave, when you're throwing it good and the ball's matching up, your pocket becomes very, very large. Shannon is focused. Those eyes are keyed in. She wants this title more than she's ever wanted anything before. Will she get it?
The eye of the Tiger.
Again, Dave, we started on the A squad was on the fresh, B squad was on used, and C squad was on double burn. Then you got to the cashier's round. You bowled 8 more games. They played entirely different. Cut to the top 24. And then we go to round robin match play.
Mike Hannington, USBC board of directors here tonight. Great to see Mike on hand. First match, all even. 5 straight strikes between the two. And the 24-year-old from the Capital Region near Albany. Liz Colkin back up. Looks for the turkey and has it. Hammering through the rack with a great ball.
Yeah, the gate very, very strong after that commercial break. She's got a bit of confidence herself. Right here, she slides 17. Arm directly through the target. Watches the ball rolls and tips up, splits the 8-9. You know you're lined up and you're in the right part of the lane when that happens. Came up high at one point on the left lane when she 4-7, but she's still working on a few strikes right here. definitely more aggressive on that shot. Higher ball speed. Just not enough to trip out the 4-pin. 8 at the arrow, so she's right around the same target where she's been the entire time. She's been getting out to 6-7 at the break point, right around the area. So now we're starting to see some transition, Dave, where the fronts are starting to get eaten up a little bit. A little more friction's being developed. She's going to have to make a move to catch up with that transition.
There's the spare. Back to Carolyn.
It's interesting what Kelly just said about the lanes going through a transition. And speaking with both of the girls' ball reps, they are playing the lanes similar. What they have chosen to do is use symmetrical balls with a lot of surface. They've chosen medium balls or high-end balls that actually, when put the surface on them, still are clean through the front, but read the middle part of the lane, but don't give a lot of back-end reaction until they light the transition on the lanes. The interesting thing about this pair, 15 and 16 was part of the end of the bowling center where we warmed up. You have the chance to warm up before your squad. 15 and 16 was never used in warm-up. This is the first time they're being bowled on.
Yeah, excellent remarks, Carolyn. I like what you said about the symmetric equipment. It's going to spin a little bit longer, have a little bit more energy at the back, whereas the asymmetric balls will respond quicker to friction. Both ladies allowed to play straighter. But right there, we see a mistake not often seen by Shannon O'Keefe. Just missing the 10-pin off the edge.
Shocking whiff of the 10 and an open frame for Shannon.
Yeah, she really liked it off her hand, too, when she delivered the first ball, thinking it was going to be a strike. But again, almost 30 milliliters of oil. You could see just at the end of the cliff, the ball falls off. Open frame for Shannon O'Keefe.
Can she bounce back in the 8th? Yes, she can. That's a good response.
See Shannon kind of banging her head in there with the fan.
Follow PWBA on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the Bowl TV YouTube channel to keep up with the greatest women bowlers in the world. Get the latest video highlights and news and watch the new PWBA On the Road series. It's great, by the way.
Yeah.
Check it out each week to follow your favorites.
Liz Colkin looking for another strike, way out the door.
10-pin will stand.
Wide
That
shot.
was a big opportunity
Yeah.
to create some distance.
She really could have pressed her foot down on the gas and taken some leeway against Shannon. Still sliding the same spot, but off her hand, stands up a little bit taller, way right down lane. She's at least about 3 or 4 boards further right of the break point of where she was. But because of her rotation, she had the hand speed to get it around and almost trip out that messenger 10-pin.
She has a 10-pin, and she takes care of business.
Just like a ballerina, a little tiptoe through the forest there.
That's okay. All that matters is it was knocked down in the end for the spare.
Yeah, and you heard Carolyn talk about our warm-up matches and everything. The winner of this match will go on to face the number 3 seed Danielle McEwen, who used those warm-up pairs that women got to bowl on 30 minutes at least prior to their session, but really they were turned on from 7 a.m. to 5:30. Anyone can bowl because the women were only allowed 1 shot on each of the starting pair they bowled on before competition began.
Liz Colkin.
Bringing 10-pin again.
Bringing 10.
Makes the adjustment. Remember, she went 4-7 and 4-pin. Had to make a little bit of a parallel move to the left inside. Right at the pins there. Watch the 3-pin go straight back. 6-pin shields off to the side. Just kind of lays itself down into the gutter.
2015, she made the USBC Queens just days after graduating Nebraska. That was in Green Bay. Lost to Maria Jose Rodriguez in a roll-off. And only other major TV match until tonight here in Orlando. And she has a lead on the presumed 2018 PWBA Player of the Year, Shannon O'Keefe. She's in a great spot. They're the max scores. Speaking of roll-offs.
Yeah. Both women max score of 235. When you get to a major, Dave, it always comes down to the 10th frame. Quality, deliveries, executions. Who can show up in pressure situations? Ooh, you heard her. Hook, 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 hook. And again, because of that symmetrical bowling ball, it's a little bit slower in its response. It's going to spin longer. It wants to retain some energy. using more service, trying to get the ball to slow down. Remember, it's the fastest off your hand and slows down as it's traveling toward the pocket. Sliding 13 at the foul line, gets it, leaks it a little bit further right, just watching its general path. Not as much hand rotation as Liz Colkin, luckily just to leave a single 2-pin.
This time, she has the mark to keep things interesting.
Yeah, she can strike out now for 215. Would force Liz Colkin at least to have a mark in the 10th frame.
That's a better shot. Shannon O'Keefe, all 10 back. She told us last night there is no feeling like winning a major, which she has done 2 times in a row in Richmond and again in Reno. Now it's Orlando tonight, but she's got a hill to climb against the 24-year-old youngster, the 5th seed out of Schenectady, New York, Liz Colkin.
Dave, she's no stranger to climbs because after her first block, she was in 86th place at -70, and now she's on the telecast.
With shots like that, it's hard to believe.
Yep.
A rough start to this event for Shannon O'Keefe.
So strikeout here gives her a score of 215, makes Liz Colkin mark in the 10th frame. Great athleticism. She creates so much power with her release and her powerful legs.
Wants another. A ringing 10-pin. Doesn't get that last strike and finishes at 214. And now it's up to the 5th seed to take care of business.
Yeah, a 9 out would leave 213 for Liz Colkin, so she must mark. And this has been her good lane. Waiting for a quick reset on the left lane.
This would be her first ever victory on TV at a major. Just missed the show. Final group in Harrisburg recently on tour by 8 pins. And her ball rep Chuck Gardner said, it's about time you get on TV. Let's make one more adjustment here with the physical and mental game. And sure enough, she will cross that finish line and make the final 5 at a major. Needs a mark. Has a mark. And has the victory over Shannon O'Keefe. Liz Colkin will climb the ladder in Orlando tonight. Trying for a second career PWBA Tour title and her first ever major. Liz Colkin has knocked off Shannon O'Keefe. Danielle McEwen is next for Liz.
Watching the PWBA Tour on CBS Sports Network.
All right, Danielle, thanks. Great job. Danielle up head-to-head with Liz Colkin, match number 2. Liz Johnson had won the last 3 U.S. Open titles. That reign comes to an end here tonight. So it's Liz Colkin up. And our top seed, Stephanie Johnson. But no Liz Johnson.
That is correct. There will never be another Liz Johnson.
Yes. Well said, partner. Well said. 26 years old. Stony Point, New York is not too far from West Point, the United States Military Academy. Great start for Danielle. Let's go back to CDB. We'll get back to Carolyn soon. How's Liz feeling, Colkin, right now at this point? Confidence level, nerves?
She should feel much lighter on her feet. She should feel very grooved in. She just defeated a person going for Player of the Year, high in the points list. She bowled well, as we saw in the break. Emil Williams, she just finished just outside the cut for the TV show from Mechanicsburg. So all these ladies are building confidence today.
Carolyn's ready.
That was funny. Thank you, Dave. Liz has made a ball change. Same ball, but has a fresh cover on it. It also is a pinup. They hit it hard with 1,000, but again, it's a pinup ball based on she was using a pin down ball. She moved a couple left. She's going to get this, give this ball a couple of shots. If she doesn't like the reaction, she will go to her next step, and she has an asymmetrical ball ready to go. Danielle, on the other hand, is opting to be a little bit further right or try to stay on top of what she's trying to hit. She wants to stay as direct as possible and really keep everything in front of her. She's actually using a pinup ball with a lot less surface than Liz.
Yeah, Dave, so 1,000 grit, 500, 360, 180, goes all up to 4,000. So an aggressive grit on the bowling ball really has some teeth in it, want to slow down. The pinup will give her the length and the push through the front, but should give her a little bit more recovery in the back to do something just like that and trip out the 4-9. As you can see,
will take it.
Yeah, she's going to start to creep in further left, further inside. She liked that reaction. Throws the fist pump in the air. But as Carolyn said, Danielle McEwen, so higher grit ball, most likely 3,000 or 4,000, gives it the appearance that the ball is actually shiny. What Danielle does really, really well, she's kind of like another Liz Johnson. She's able to play a part of the lane that no other women can do. She's going to stay far to the right, tumble it forward with her hand that she does so naturally well, and just let the ball roll towards the 1-3 pocket.
Danielle's won a title every year since the relaunch of the PWBA Tour. Tour Championship we talked about in Arlington, the Major, Wichita Open in 2016, Rochester Open last year, and the Fountain Valley Open in Southern California this year. Rising young star on tour, and across the deck, and the messenger will not tap the 10. Single pin conversion coming up for her.
Yeah, just can't get that powerful kick off the side. But she leaves a 10 pin at the pin action right there. Look at the head pin go off to the sidewall on the left side. Starts to roll over just in front, but says, I'm sorry, no love today. Just waiting for a little reset of the 10 pin again on the right lane.
Start your morning right with a healthy serving of sports, from recapping last night's action to breaking down the top stories of the day. The boys have you covered. Catch Boomer and Gio weekday morning starting at 6 Eastern right here on CBS Sports Network. So we're going to make sure that we get things properly spotted and reset.
Boardwalk Bowl here in Orlando, Florida. Very much a very popular recreational center for.
Oh, this place was packed last night.
Yeah, people to come in. They had live band in the bar, karaoke. I think they had a comedian, so they do entertainment bowling very, very well here.
Fun place to go. We're ready. Danielle's ready. And she missed the 10 pin. Wow. So after that delay, unable to convert.
56 games, Dave. There were some roller coasters and some hiccups along the way, and that's just a mental process right there. You know, the pin delay, waiting for the 10 pin to be reset. Just kind of stay in your own space, but Danielle will bounce back right here, make a good delivery on the left lane, see if she can get back in the match with only in frame number 3. Solid 9 pin. Now for those fans out there, I was watching that one. She's much further left on the left lane, as we saw Liz Culkin creeping further inside. But she was around 5-6 on the right lane. Great style, goes back and forth between 4 and 5 steps. She creates so much leverage. Watches the ball, should hit the 9 pin. But it's got so much power, it just keeps continuing to hook and walk right by it.
No problem this time. Takes care of the 9 pin. She knocked off Brianna Cote, 215-182 championship match with Fountain Valley this year for her title. Told us last night she loved nothing more than to win major number 2 and put herself right as Kelly talked about, in the middle of the Player of the Year points race. It's all based on points, not a vote.
Correct.
It is pure points in the PWBA Tour. Culkin feeling it.
There's a little amusement by Liz, not sure. Now again, because of the higher volume and the length of the pattern, there was some wiggle room, there was some miss room. All these ladies all week long when we bowled, very difficult until you got to the burn and the use. Could you miss outside to the right? You had to keep the ball in front of you, keep your angles tight, and allow the misses to be inworked. And that's what she did right there, not by much though.
We asked Liz last night about taking on Shannon O'Keefe. Best finish before 2015 Queens in Green Bay. That was 5th.
And her rookie season.
10-pin, tap, down it goes. Another strike for Liz Culkin. And Liz said, I want to be where Shannon is. How do I get there? By beating the best. And she just did that in match 1. And she's bowling well here, head-to-head with Danielle McEwen.
Yeah, she took season 2 and 3 a little for granted, but the only way you learn, Dave, is to be out here living it, breathing it, and doing it. Gets the ball a little bit further, wider than normal, but as we see, that left lane is breaking down much quicker than the right lane pocket.
7-10 for Danielle McEwen, who's watched Liz with the front 4. Off to a great start. A tough break for Danielle.
And it re-racked the 7-10 again, so a few difficulties here, but look at her delivery. Sliding 11, 6-7 all the way down the lane. Both the 6-pin and the 4-pin slip in front. 4-pin doesn't go into the 7-pin, 6-pin slides in front. She thought that was a strike, and I did too, Dave.
Great action so far on CBS Sports Network this year, and more coming your way as well. August 4th, 11th, 18th, 25th, all the way through the road to Richmond on September 19th to wrap up the 2018 PWBA Tour season on CBS Sports Network. Can't wait to bring you the action. I hope you're not by my side. I hope you're bowling for titles.
Dave, I'd love to be on the other side of the camera for some of those events.
But if you're not, of course, you're welcome to be next to me in the booth, where you do such a fabulous job, along with Carolyn. I wish both you guys be out there on the show.
It would be great to have us. Clearwater returning there for the 3rd consecutive year, going back to the Twin Cities, Columbus, Ohio, something new to the women's territory, and then, yes, Plano, Texas for the Players' Championship. We're really excited, but now Danielle facing the 7-10 split.
Pins responding. Almost impossible on TV. Leaves a 7, another open, and that gap just really widens now for Liz Culkin. 55-pin lead here in match 2. She has got to be feeling good about her position here tonight.
Hey, Dave, I said earlier, 260, 160. It happened for all the women competing this week. I think my low game was 148, and I recovered with a 279. So a lot of ups and downs during this event.
That's better. All 10 back. Any player rolls a 300 game during this telecast will receive a $10,000 bonus courtesy of GoBowling.com. Visit GoBowling.com to find local bowling centers, get tips from the pros, and for all the latest news and information on your favorite sport, bowling. Looking for the front 5. 1-300 rolled in the entire tournament so far. Liz would like to have another one. 5 in a row.
She's in the driver's seat, Dave. Makes a ball change. She knows her equipment really well. She, too, has made a change to another bowling style. She's worked really well with the tour reps all throughout the season so far. And she's noticing it in her delivery and her game and the results by far.
We've heard her strike song a lot, haven't we?
Yeah, New York, you can tell she's an East Coast girl for sure. Very proud of where she lives and where she's from. Looking to grease that lead. 6 strikes in a row.
Trying to get halfway home. Not this time. 3-6 up. So the run ends with a front 5. But she's in great position to win match 2.
I was looking for that 6-pack, Dave. Comes up high in the left lane. It's really starting to break down quick. The lanes did open up after a while where you could roll the ball to the right and have recovery. So as the friction starts to develop, the angles will start to widen, especially for the hook players and Erin McCarthy coming up in later matches.
Erin's the 2 seed.
Two.
Gets 2. Stephanie Johnson, the top seed here in Orlando, hoping for her first career major. As is Liz Colkin, who has been brilliant so far. Knocked off Player of the Year frontrunner Shannon O'Keefe. Has a big lead on Danielle McEwen in the second match tonight in Orlando. Liz Colkin, match 2, front 5, and 2 opens. As you can see, Danielle McEwen in the second frame, then the 4th frame. That spelled disaster. 63-pin lead for the former star at Nebraska. Here's Danielle McEwen, herself a collegiate star at FDU, the National Bowl of the Year.
Yeah.
Longtime member of Team USA. All 10 back, out of the break. That's better.
Exactly, Dave, like you described. I really thought she'd have more success on the right lane because she's further right than Liz and most of the women so far. It would give a little bit more hold down lane, more angle entry into the pocket, more carry, and it's just been the opposite.
Members we talked about, you guys are all headed to Arlington in the training center as soon as we're done, basically, tomorrow, right?
Yeah, watch right here. Slides, kind of dips the shoulder, watch the ball go way right quick, off her hand. 4-5 down here at the break point. She's been keeping her angle. She's really great at keeping everything in front of her, but luckily, again, only the single pin spare. But all the Team USA women will be either going home for a quick laundry turnover, and then, as you said, Arlington, Texas International Training and Research Center for our camp. Liz Colkin is one of those team members. Myself, Danielle McEwen, Stephanie Johnson. Erin was a past team member. So excellent representation of our national team.
Shannon O'Keefe.
At the telecast, Shannon O'Keefe, I think 14. Stephanie's 14. Myself 14. Wow. Danielle 7, and she's only 26 years old.
Isn't
so
that something? 14
amazing.
Times.
Shannon,
congrats, Kelly. Looking forward to great international competition as well. Colkin. It was a split, almost had a split, but instead of 4-7. That's a lot easier spare to knock down.
Wow, Dave, where did that come from? 4-7, gets lucky, catches the break. Watch right there off the sidewall for the 6-pin to fall over. Almost could have taken out the 4-7 if you watch it.
Please stay clean. Easy now. I don't want trouble this late.
So as we wait for the 4-7 to be reset on the right lane. Oh, thanks to our camera crew for a great look down below. See the yellow pin on the ball? It's tall. Now it's getting more towards the left. Standing taller and taller as it gets into that roll phase. Really, really high on the head pin. Leaves the split, but catches that break.
Staying even keel, patient, executing her game. Those are the 3 keys she gave us last night. There's Deadwood there in the channel. Try to get that cleared out so she can work on the spare. She's certainly done that well. Those 3 keys executed so well here tonight. Covers, 4-7 down.
Yeah, Dave, and as I said earlier, the women, we had 1 practice shot on each lane of our starting pair. For the TV show tonight, all the women had 20 minutes of practice. Now, the difference is you cannot touch the surface once they started practice tonight. Usually in a regular format, you can add more surface during practice as long as you want to. But once the women threw the first delivery, they can no longer touch the outer surface of the bowling ball. Really trying to hold up the integrity of the lane and the pattern that's placed on it. Big move on the left lane.
Wiped it, and that's why. 60 feet to success for Liz Colkin as she blitzes right through the rack, all 10 back in the pit. A big strike.
Wow, so let's see, Liz Colkin could shoot a maximum score of 266. Danielle down by 52 pins. Not sure if she can get caught up in this match. 214, I think, would be her max score. A little side disturbance over there.
Well, it's still been a great year for Danielle, even though this result is not what she wanted, Kelly. She told us last night that she felt 2017 was an uphill climb. Just physically and mentally, her game was not where she wanted, but it's in gear in 2018.
Well, let me tell you, Dave, this is the mindset of a true champion. She has room for improvement, and she wants to keep learning. Only in her 4th year on tour, and she's still looking to get better. That's what creates a true champion, and that's what is going to lead her to being somewhat a future player of the year. But she's still in 2nd, and the winner of this match, as we see, Erin McCarthy's coming up, looking for her first ever major championship title. So 214 max score for McEwen, 266 for Culkin. If I was Liz Culkin right now, I'd show up in the 9th frame and maybe just try a little bit, maybe a ball change in the 9th frame, a ball change in the 10th frame, get a little bit more information of what the lane is telling me. That way, if I see a transition, no second guessing, go right to it.
We asked Danielle last night about being in the 3 seed spot, and she said it's nice to get out there in the middle of the show because so much is happening with the lanes and their breakdown as they transition on TV. And waiting for our lane technicians to get everything set again. Of course, you want to be the top seed. It's one match, but so much can happen with the lanes between that first match and your title match.
Yeah.
It can be tough to make a good call strategically, right?
Yeah, and that just goes how the week went. Because you only got that one shot of practice, you had to watch the pairs you were crossing to. You had to do homework. You really had to show up and do homework and see what the lanes were going to do so you had a better information of what you could do.
7-10 again. It's amazing.
It is. Now, the 8 bowling balls they chose, they could drill bowling balls, but right now, Danielle, this was something she relied on and went to, but right now it's just not paying off. She's executing, not having much room to miss. Moves back right on the left lane. She was deeper the last few shots, and again leaves the 7-10 split. And again, some technical difficulties here with the lanes.
And Danielle said to us last night that her career highlight was not winning the Tour Championship, which you might think there's a technician getting everything reset, but gold for Team USA. That says a lot about what her career means in terms of being patriotic and representing her country. It's a big deal.
Dave, she came off of last year, the 2017 World Championships. She won the all events, which is one of the most prestigious medals you can win. She was part of the trios team with myself and Shannon O'Keefe taking gold as Shannon was struggling with a kidney stone trying to pass. Wearing the red, white, blue is such a special meaning to each individual, but as a team, seeing how many years these women have been on the team together, it's just a bond that we've grown together to love, and nothing better than hearing your national anthem.
All right, 7-10. Losing 7. Another open. And this match is mathematically over. Liz Culkin has knocked off Shannon O'Keefe and Danielle McEwen. She'll take on Erin McCarthy, the 2 seed next from here in Orlando, hoping for her first ever major championship here tonight on CBS Sports Network.
Erin McCarthy, and this is the PWBA Tour.
Erin is ready. Liz Culkin is 2. 5 seed against the 2 seed here in match number 3 from Orlando. Dave Ryan with you alongside Kelly Kulick and Carolyn Dorn-Ballard. Is lane level.
Looks like she's sticking with the same ball she did in match number 2, Dave. So that pin-up aggressive symmetric bowling ball with a lot of surface. Opens up the lane right there and packs 10 straight back in the pit. 246 her last game. If she keeps up that pace, it's got to be one of the highest scoring TV shows for the U.S. Open for her.
Erin, who is also a nurse at 2 different medical facilities, including one in their intensive care unit, has 1 career title, 1 in Louisville this year. High shot, only a 6-pin count. She went right from her victory home to Omaha and had to do a shift at one of her hospitals. What an impressive career, and does so much in the medical field.
You know, to really give the human side of the piece, Dave, all these women have full-time jobs. They, midnight hours, burning the midnight oil, leave a tour that when you bowl 16 games on Friday, come back Saturday, bowl another 8, and then another 6 for the top 12. That's 18 and 16, 34 match play, step ladder. And now she goes back, works 2 12-hour shifts, and back at the U.S. Open for the 56-game format. Bowling in the semifinal match, now shooting at the 3-6-9-10.
Got to cover and cannot. And it's an open frame right off the bat for Erin.
Stephanie's a full-time mom, Erin a full-time nurse. Liz Colkin says she has 2 jobs. She works at a grocery store and something else she mentioned last night at a bowling center.
Yep, her home center in the
able
Albany
to
area.
practice. Shannon O'Keefe, head coach, women's at McKendree. And Danielle McEwen, probably the only full-time bowler that doesn't have anything outside other than appearances and giving lessons.
Erin needs a bounce back here, and she cannot find the pocket. Wow. 1, 2, 8, 10. Standing.
Interesting, on the right lane when she played square, ball hooked too soon. When she moved left on the left lane, tried to open up the lane more, it never slowed down. It never read the pattern. 14 at the arrows all the way out to 6 where Liz Colkin's break point was earlier. The ball rolls out right there. Needs to hit the head pin on the left side, slide it over to take out the 10 pin. But still driving force, take out the back sleeper 8.
Not easy, can't do it. 10 pin stands. A disastrous start for Erin McCarthy in this match. And Liz Colkin has taken advantage of her opponent's mistakes so far. She'll try to do that again here in her 3rd match.
Yeah, Dave, as I said in the break there too, just focus on the pins. Bowl your game, and that's exactly what she's doing.
Hook, 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 hook,
Got a hook.
hook.
It doesn't.
Yep.
2-10 split.
She's broken up a lot in the first 2 matches. Trips out that 6 pin, leave only the 4-7. Leaves single pin spares, but this one got away from her. More transition is occurring. The ladies are playing deeper on the lane now. Again, high volume of oil. You still have to keep your angles in front of you. My choice is to keep their feet the same, but really kind of bring the pocket, the 3 pin closer to them, closer to the head pin, maybe creep back a little bit right, but be more direct to the pocket. That was success for most women all week long. Hooking at it to slide the 2 pin over.
Just misses the 2, whips on that, leaves 2 pins, and now Erin's double open to begin the match. Doesn't look quite so bad for Erin McCarthy because it's only an 8 pin difference.
Yeah. You hear her, take your time, don't rush, don't rush.
First open of the show for Liz. Been so solid.
You get comfortable. She really likes to open up the lane, and she can do so on the left lane, but the right lane still is tighter. Keep everything in front. Just right there, that's what she needs to do on the right lane. Still keep those open angles in the front and the left. But she also leaves a 3, 6, 9, 10, not one of the easiest spares to make out here on tour, especially on this demanding condition.
So things are transitioning clearly. Liz had to feel great on the bench watching back-to-back opens from Erin McCarthy to begin the match. Now she is struggling to find the 1-3 pocket. Really high shot there.
Yeah, the move for Liz is to get the feet a little bit further left, but still keep the eyes a little right. She has more recovery on the left lane, but the dead opposite on the right lane.
Lot to cover here, and she can't do it either. Goodness. Erin McCarthy on the bench figured after the 2 opens she was in disastrous shape. Instead, she has a 3-pin lead because Liz Colkin just returned the favor. Now things really interesting.
Right there, there's that tightness I was talking about. The angles are in front of her, not giving up much of the 3-pin. She finds her way on the right lane. And as you can see, she's smiling. Apparently there's a little bit of a running joke about her strike song as All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. But here she is, 13 at the arrows.
Last night.
Yep, she gets it to 8. She's got very heavy forward roll. That means the ball rolls end over end. It's a lot of circumference of the bowling ball's in touch with the lane. It slows down very smoothly, nice and controllable, and she's able to get her ball to actually roll forward as it's hitting the pocket. Left lane, catches the swish.
Back-to-back jacks for Erin. Here comes Mariah Carey again. It's a bit of a joke with she and her work friends from the hospital back in Omaha, Nebraska, her hometown. It's sort of carried over to the PWBA Tour as being a little fun with that strike song. And she would like to play that a lot more tonight.
I wish Christmas was every day of the year. It'd be fantastic. Santa Claus coming every night and everything. Look at her scores, 235 to 214, 246 to 172. Right now she's on a 2-0 pace.
How will Liz bounce back after her struggles? Pretty well with a strike. Carolyn joined now by Danielle McEwen.
Danielle, congratulations on a great week. During your match, you had to wait a few minutes for a couple of pins to be set up. Tell everybody, when you're on TV, how do you handle that?
Well, I didn't handle it very well, or I would still be bowling. But it's something that we're not used to. It's a distraction, of course, but it's my fault for not handling it correctly, and it's only gonna make me stronger moving forward. I'll learn how to deal with it and come back better next time.
Well, you played the lanes a little differently than everyone during the night block. You were able to stay a little bit further right. Tell us a little bit about that.
I just saw it kind of to the shape better to the right. That's kind of my A game and what I'm comfortable with, so that's what I stuck with and went from there.
Well, great week and good luck in your next event. Back to you, Dave.
CDB thinks it was a great week for Danielle. Struggles tonight, but she's going to move forward with that, and not a 7-10. How about a strike instead for Liz Culkin? You saw her reaction, Kelly, a moment ago.
Yeah, powerful, powerful shot right there. Has her angles in the right part of the lane now. Messenger head pin off the left sidewall all the way across to crush and run over the 10-pin.
7-pin stands for Aaron.
Just not enough. That's what I was talking about earlier too, Dave, how the ball is kind of slow getting down the lane. It's trying to get there. It's trying to get there. It's trying to get there. Just not enough to flex a little bit off to the right-hand side. Kicks out the 9-pin. Shaker 7 still stands. Hard plastic ball, cross lane, straight at it for the spare conversion. I commented Erin McCarthy this year because her style and her stature, she's so powerful for someone of her height. And her ball speed has increased from last year. If you look at a telecast from previous years, the Queens, last year at the US Open when she had the back spasms, she's at least 3/4 to a mile an hour faster this year, which again, stronger equipment, tighter angles, better pin carry. It's really been advantageous for her.
Finished third last year at the US Open after suffering 16 days of back spasms. Almost crossing over for a Brooklyn strike. Instead, at 6-10 stand for Aaron. 8.5 weeks after she wrapped up the US Open last year with those back problems, she did not touch a bowling ball. Rehab, physical therapy, chiropractor appointments, and a lot of medication, and she feels better now.
She does, and I'm going to highlight Clara Guerrero here in our booth tonight because she had the back spasms, took 2 weeks off, came back, makes the cut at Mechanicsburg, comes here, makes the top 24 at the US Open, and she's back in the hunt for that elite field.
Clara, scorekeeper tonight. Thanks to Clara, doing a great job. Great match here, match number 3. Culkin McCarthy head-to-head in Orlando. Trying to go up the ladder here at the US Women's Open. Liz Culkin, 24 years old, from Schenectady, New York. Match number 3, has herself a big lead on Erin McCarthy. While we were gone a moment ago, a huge strike. Kelly, it looked like it was going to be a 7-10 for a moment, then a 7, then how about all 10?
Yeah. 4-pin not strong enough to push itself into the 7-pin and run it over.
Looks for a 5-bagger now, and covers all 10, and expands the lead one more time.
She's really matched up. She's made smart ball choices. She's made smart moves. Only one really bad error when she aired it out the window and left the 210 on the right lane. See, she's sliding about 19, 20, 11 at the arrow, so further right than Erin McCarthy, but her ball speed and axis rotation gets the ball to come back from that far distance away. And now after tripping out the 7-10 practically twice on the left lane, let's see if she can pack 10 straight.
Got the nickel, 5 in a row. Looking to go up by 57 pins, a ring and 10. A nice run for Liz, who's in great shape to take on Stephanie Johnson in the championship match.
Yeah, much better delivery for here. Spare and Sheik gives her 224 for the max score. 218 for only Erin McCarthy. So right now, again, Liz Culkin staying in control, taking it frame by frame, shot by shot, just as she said she was going to do.
I thought it was really interesting and talent. Good job. She says herself there's a 10-pin that even after the open frames to begin this match, she looked up and waved hi, Mom.
Yeah.
Now, Mark and Ricky watching back home in the Albany area, she was relaxed and focused. Even then, Stephanie Johnson, our top seed, awaits the winner of this one.
Yeah, I do. I like Liz's self-talk to herself, too. Good shot, good job. It's just positive reinforcement, increasing your self-image, putting yourself up there, and telling yourself you are good at this. But Erin McCarthy, as she comes back in the 9th frame to strike for 128, there's there's that All I Want for Christmas Is You in the background. But she can now, excuse me, she can strike out for 188. I said 218 earlier, 188. So Liz Culkin can do some fishing in the 10th frame, try experiment a little bit going into this championship match.
So back-to-back years, great run for Erin to make the show at the U.S. Open.
And great to see her healthy. As you said, Dave, 8.5 weeks she took off. She wins her first national title in Louisville. She makes her second U.S. Open appearance in a row, and she's going to finish third in this event. Such adversity and everything she's overcome in the last 12 months alone.
I will never forget watching her
Oh,
bowling last year to make the show, how painful it was. Every shot, every step she took with the back spasms, she was in excruciating agony.
yeah.
And to make the show and compete and finish third place, I mean,
Yeah.
she bowled very, very well.
Yes, she did.
See her healthy now is great.
So Liz just needs 5 pins in the 10th frame. Just a couple of pins to secure this match. Stay behind the foul line, keep it on the lane. Like I said, do a little fishing, kind of a little wandering around. Maybe make a ball change, see what the left lane's going to do. Excuse me, the right lane. But Erin McCarthy, 188. And Liz Culkin will just need 5 pins on her first shot. Two 810, 186.
Great run for the 2 seed who had hoped to give herself an early birthday present. She turns 28 a week from today, but will fall a little short against Liz Culkin.
And that's great. He said 28 years old. Think about the women, the future of the sport and this tour itself. The PWBA is going to be around for a long time. Next year's season is already announced. We have Liz Culkin in her 20s, and then Shannon and Stephanie in their 30s. So
Liz Culkin has wrapped up this match against Erin McCarthy, and next up, the top seed, Stephanie Johnson. From here in Orlando, Florida, the city beautiful. That's the trophy. One of these 2 bowlers, Stephanie Johnson, Liz Culkin, would like to hold that up for the cameras, along with the big prize money as well. And be a part of women's bowling history. Championship match, U.S. Women's Open from Orlando. And here's the top seed. Stephanie Johnson from the Dallas Metroplex, who knows this center so well. Gets us started. In the title tilt with a strike. Alum of the University of Central Florida, UCF bowling team actually practiced, played a lot of its matches in this very building. She worked here for a total of 6 years. No one knows it better. What a start.
4-step approach. Stephanie's A game is just being straight and firm. That's what she does so well. Smaller angles, more ball speed, gives even more pin action at the back. Liz Culkin sticking with the same ball. Deeper inside than Stephanie. Starts off right where she ended with a strike on the right lane. So Stephanie is the #1 seed. She chose to start. She will have to show up in the 10th frame for her to win that covenant title if she needs to strike out. But Liz Culkin starting off with a strike. Left lane playing deeper. Let's see if she keeps this momentum afly for this championship match.
We started with 108 competitors. Down to our final 5. We had 17 different countries represented, 29 international players. This great event started back in 1949. And here we are. 1 match to go. Breakdown, left, right lane. Culkin missed the pocket. Not too much damage with a 2-pin.
Yeah, that went off her hand, definitely. She's starting to feel some adrenaline, getting a little excited. That one was firm off her hand, really pushed through down the lane. Didn't have enough time to slow down and recover towards the pocket. You know, she told us last night, Dave, in the interviews, was the key was being even keel and not having those bad games. This is where she needs to stay even. So watch, a little more knee bend. Really quick, good finger action at the bottom of the swing. Slight bounce onto the lane. The normal ball speed, probably about 17 and a half. That one for sure had to be a little bit up higher in the 18 miles per hour.
Let's go back to Carolyn Doran-Ballard with Pat Costello.
I'm standing here with Pat, PWBA and USBC Hall of Famer. Okay, Pat, you were Stephanie Johnson's coach when she was at UCF. What would you tell her right now before this match if you were coaching her now?
Well, we had a little conversation, not a lot, other than, just believe in yourself, make good shots, and be there. You were all there all week. Just stay in the game, and you're ready to go.
Okay, so now you knew her for 4 years, obviously more years now, but 4 years at school. Tell us one thing that we don't know about Stephanie while you were coaching her.
Stephanie's funny. She has a great sense of humor, but she has a drive that I don't see in too many athletes.
Well, thanks very much, Pat. Enjoy the show.
Thanks,
Back to you, Dave.
CDB, thanks so much. Great to hear from Pat. That's some insight. Stephanie's time at UCF. Takes care of the mark. Now lives in the Dallas area. So she's a former Rookie of the Year on the PWBA Tour. Husband Chris, who's here, former PBA Rookie of the Year back in 2004. And the kids are watching back home with Grandma and Grandpa. Chris showed us a great picture of the kids on the couch, all set to go, had baths and ready. They were ready.
Gotta watch Mommy.
To see Mom win tonight, hopefully. This is her one match as the top seed. Off to a great start.
I really want to pay close attention to where Stephanie's sliding, where she's playing using a very surface bowling ball. Left looks really good on the left lane. Really, really good on the left lane. See the ball pick up and drive through the pocket. You get to know the ladies' personality too with their strike zone songs, what they hear in the background. It's always nice to see the other side of not just the bowler, but the human being. Liz Colking on the right lane, stepping up. Shaker 7 does not fall this time, though. Seven pin stands alone. She'll go cross lane at spare. Unlike most players, Liz is going to hook at the 7 pin. We normally see professional athletes take a plastic ball and go hard and straight at it, but she's going to choose to hook at it and picks it up with no issues.
Great to see Tyler Arahuo here, Director of Sales and Marketing of Boardwalk Bowl. Right next to Chris Johnson, who's watching close. There's CJ. Great staff at Boardwalk. What? This is my first time here. This place is tremendous.
Oh.
Entertainment for so many great bowlers, of course, at your level, and recreational bowlers alike. Boy, entertainment everywhere. It's something.
Previous people told me it used to be a Walmart that just cleared out and moved away, and what a great facility to put a huge bowling center in. Liz Colkin right now left lane. She gets back in the match in the 4th ring, pushes 10 straight back into the pit. Stephanie was light on this right lane, leaving the 2 pin. Most of the time, if there's been any type of, inconsistencies, it's been on this right lane, Dave. And it's interesting because Stephanie chose to start the match, so she's going to finish on this lane in the 4th frame now, going for the 10th frame, so she has to be solid and find the path to the pocket. Yeah.
7 pin count.
You can see right there, Dave, I don't know if you saw it, the ball just kind of pushes. Never slow down, never try to pick up or change direction. I'm not sure because a lot of the girls played to the right, a lot of the women, it's starting to burn up. She might have to shell down, go to something pearlized, but still stay in the same area. That restores a little bit more energy. You can see the whiteness of the ball is trying to stand up. It stands up there, but to me, I think that's just burnt out. The ball is definitely burned in the front portion of the lane, and might have to be creative here, make a ball change on the right lane.
Covers.
2-4-5, no problem. Talk about roller coaster, Dave. She went 1-7 in that first round of match play. 221 average, but 14-10 overall after going 1-7 out the gate.
And she and her great friend and roommate Shannon O'Keefe were driving back from the bowl after that. She said, I needed a moment. I needed a good cry.
Yeah.
Shannon said, just let it out, let it out. And that really helped her focus again. Get back in a good frame of mind.
Oh, flat 10. So many scenarios play out. You know, the number 5 seed coming up the step ladder. Watch the head pin go off. The ball really kind of moves and deflects towards the 9 pin, veering to the right pot side. But again, here she leads the event all week long. She gets 8 shots, 4 on each lane. Got to get lined up quick, that is for sure.
Stephanie's been keeping a journal, she told us, since the start of the new year. It's helped her a lot. The ups and downs of being a great professional bowler, her working career, being a mom, and taking classes for yet another master's degree.
Yeah. She's a very young, educated woman. She knows what the future holds. She's got a line of leg-ins. She's, as people would say, a very good head on her shoulders. Right lane. Another messenger for Liz Colkin off the sidewall. Her rotation with her hand just creates so much angle into the pocket that she's able to create that much power, that much momentum.
Are you looking for some great PWBA gear? Then visit the official online store of the PWBA at shoppwba.com. Another big shot. 6 frame. Across the deck again. And the scout takes out number 10. All smiles for Liz Colkin tonight here in Orlando. Wow.
Dave, I'm going to make a comment here, but this is, these are Tommy Jones strikes. These are Sean Rash strikes when the head pin comes off the wall like that and has enough momentum to go all the way across the 39 boards on the lane that are 60 feet from the foul line to the head pin. She is unbelievable with her power and her persistence.
6 frame working on a spare 7-pin count. Again, not finding that 1-3 pocket on this lane.
2-4-5, Dave. As I said before, we call it burn up. The ball is just burning up too much too early. This is when you need to change to a cleaner ball. I don't think moving inward or left with that ball would be enough. I think it has to be a ball change on the right lane for sure. But what do you do when you're 6 frames into the championship match? You only have 4 frames to go.
It's a tough call. No mistakes now for Stephanie. Covers. Has the mark. But Liz Colkin has a turkey heading into her 7th frame. 8th in 2017. That was her best U.S. Open finish to date. No worse than 2nd here tonight in Orlando. Runner-up, PWBA Tour Championship in 2015 to Danielle McEwen in Arlington, Texas, not far from her home in McKinney.
Which she still won Rookie of the Year that year.
She did.
Left lane needs it.
And has it. All 10 back. Shrapnel in the pit. A great shot for Stephanie Johnson.
With that ball, though.
Ball rep advice.
I'm saying it's fine, but I'm just like giving it away too much. I would probably move my feet. Like,
Stephanie talking to Josh Blanche, the EBI rep. Can she roll it?
Not this time.
She's not
A
sure if it's
nudge
the
on
right,
the 10.
if it's the right ball. She feels like she's giving it away too much. I think her angles are great. I think she's in the right part of the lane. But I think it's definitely a ball change. Liz Colkin, 11 at the arrows, real tight there. Break point, ball's kind of slowing down a little bit there. Just not enough to bounce out the 10. Now, Liz Colkin has only had 1 open in the first 3 matches. Little pressure now in that final championship match.
10 pin.
Issues with
Has
the
the
approach there,
spare.
too.
Coming up next, CBS Sports Network hits the pitch for a doubleheader of Major League Rugby action as the top 4 teams battle it out in the playoffs and fight for a chance to be the first ever MLR champion. Only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Rugby is coming your way next. We've got a champion crown here as well tonight in Orlando. U.S. Women's Open, either Johnson or Culkin will take it home. Liz has never won a major.
That green jacket is going on one of these ladies tonight.
Maybe from Liz Johnson to Liz Culkin. Thinks better of it. Wants to reset. Crunch time.
8th frame. She's going to finish on this lane.
Every
time
shot
to lock in.
is a big shot from now on. 10 down again. How many times has she tripped a 10 tonight?
I need my toes to start counting on that one, Dave. 4-step approach, very simple. 22 at the foul line, all the way out to 6. Ball drives through the pocket, hits the 5-pin into the 8-9. Just to the left side off the pin deck. Now Stephanie, this is the 8th frame. This is the lane she's going to finish on, and she hasn't struck. She's only struck once on this lane.
To cut it to 12. Big shot. Ringing 10 pin.
And she said she wasn't sure on the right ball. But let's see what Carolyn Doran-Ballard has for us on the sidelines.
Well, I went over to talk to Team EBI, and I got to tell you, they were actually a little funny. It was only the right lane that's giving Stephanie a little bit of a hard time. Didn't want to make a major move, and she looked right at them and said, I know what I need to do. I need to be more square, keep it in front of me, but still throw a good shot. She wants to keep it simple, didn't want to really get out of her zone, and that's what she did on that shot. Much better shot, but again, she's going to have to strike just a little bit more to keep up with Liz.
You were right on, Carolyn. Shannon O'Keefe in the sidelines watching her best friend bowl for this major title, but she did. She must have moved to the right, maybe a 2-1 or a 2-2 to the right. Try to have the ball to pick up a little bit sooner. We saw a lot of traction over there right now, but it definitely was a better executed shot, pocket shot, ringing 10. She'll need to show up in the 10th frame.
Wants a strike. Gets a strike. Looking to apply some pressure. But the ball is in the court of Liz Culkin.
Yeah, Liz felt a little pressure in that first match where she needed a mark in a 10th frame to defeat Shannon O'Keefe. She's got a strike. She went 9 spare last time on this lane. What will happen?
Foundation frame. Big shot. Avoids the 7-10, which would have been highly problematic. The 10-pin only stands. She's crunching the numbers right now. You can see it. What do I need?
Make the spare first. Make the spare is what you need right now. Then do the math.
Only prior career title, 2015 Topeka Open. This would be monumental for her career. There's the 10-pin. Checks the box.
Yes, she does. Now she can look at the scoreboard. She can shoot a max score of 228, and Stephanie Johnson can shoot a max score of 186. Or 216. Stephanie Johnson, 216. I'm looking at the 9th frame. Now I'm making mistakes here. 216 and 228. 9 spare strike to shut out Stephanie Johnson. It's got to push.
Delivers with a huge strike. Nine to win for Liz Culkin now.
This one's the farthest it's been in towards that brown hash mark at 40 feet 44 feet. It was at board 10. But she has hold in front of her. 9 pins to win.
Liz Colkin goes for a U.S. Open championship. She's got it with the 9 pins. And she has won the 2018 U.S. Women's Open. It's her first career major. And it comes here tonight in Orlando, Florida. What a moment for Liz Colkin.
And they reset the pin on her. So waiting from the staff to respot the 10 pin on the left lane.
It's got to be a challenge to stay up there and keep your
Composure.
emotions in check, because you just want to celebrate and cry and
Absolutely.
hug people, raise that trophy.
I have to say it was just a fantastic shot by Liz Colkin. Pressure situation, needs to show up in the 10th frame. Almost leaves a 7-10 on the right lane. Comes out. 2 great shots in a row.
I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. Thank you for everything you've done for me.
Wow. Mark and Ricky back home in Schenectady are celebrating right now, along with daughter Liz Colkin, who has won the 2018 U.S. Women's Open Championship.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for believing you. Love you, Mom and Dad. Thank you, USBC. I'm bringing it home, Mom and Dad.
You heard it. She's a champion.
No pizza. It's not delivery.